everyone. Today we're going to talk about relationships and healing. That is relationships and healing. And I know that everyone can benefit from the information that I will provide today. I am Lena Cola. On Instagram, I freely express my gifts and my talents, and on Facebook as well at momentsofinspiration.believe, and on YouTube I am Lena Cola, where I speak on issues affecting humanity, as well as I motivate and inspire to help you along your journey. Once again, I'm mentioning that I am going to be talking about relationships and healing relationships. In healing relationships, we have to focus on creating a space where balance and harmony exists, right? So that the healing process can really take place, right? So healing relationships also recognize that emotional and your spiritual well-being and the people around you are of paramount importance, right? And so that will support their healing. Very good to see people coming on at this time. Let me give you a wave. It's good to see you. Gail 1, and I have wait. What am I thinking? Thank you so much for joining. I'd love for you to give your input into this live today. Your personal support system, right? Consists of a number of relationships. It's mommy, daddy, your family, basically, your doctor, your pastor, your neighbors, or coworkers, including your manager, right? And many others, you can name them, right? And so they can support you, as well as they can stress your life and give you burdens. And so an optimal interpersonal relationship or optimal environment is very important for you in order for you to grow. And when you have that cohesiveness in your relationships, you can really learn, you can grow, and you can heal, right? Those are the relationships that are kind, they are trusting, they are honest, and those relationships will help you to grow. Good to see you guys today. How do you develop healing relationships? How do you develop those healing relationships when everything seems so gloomy and we are locked inside due to the pandemic? We are social beings, aren't we? We are social beings, and so we need relationships with others, both individually, and we need relationships as a part of a community, so collectively. They provide us with a sense of belonging, caring, support, and it supports our health as well. In fact, it has been shown that physical illness results from social isolation. So now we have we're in the computer age, or information age, where we can use Skype, we can use WhatsApp, and we can use other means such as Facebook to build our relationships. We all know that some relationships are better for us than others. And while some relationships really, really make us sick, right? Love and support among family and friends is very, very vital. Even your colleagues at school or in college. And you will realize that these relationships will boost your immunity and can delay diseases and death as well. Build those positive relationships. It is a very wonderful thing. And as I mentioned, that you can basically use the apps to connect with your friends and your loved ones. I don't always have great relationships. In the past, I have had broken relationships, so many broken relationships. Some people, their relationships dissolve or just go into thin air, and others stick by me even until this day, right? Because we all have existential crisis at this time, where so many people are going through depression and anxiety, right? And it is very important for us to build our relationships. It's very important to just keep the connection. It's very important to feel safe in the relationships that we have. So positive relationships are healing relationships. With these relationships, you have trust, you have honesty, right? And compassion is another part of relationships that are healing for you. Compassion must be there. So those are three important elements that you must have in your relationships. So when we look at trust, you must feel emotionally and physically safe, right? I don't have to be on guard or look under one eye to see what the other person is doing or how they are going about things. Then you have honesty, right? And honesty can be revealed in the person, and we also feel safe. So there will be no harm to us. Then there is compassion. So both the other person and you have the ability, really, and the willingness to understand each other, right? And express kindness. So you express kindness. Those three are very, very important factors in your relationship. Inner super self. It is very good to see you at this time. I'm talking about relationships and healing. And I just mentioned three key components in having great relationship. Quotes dash on the score is also here. Good to see you again. So the three components that I mentioned that we have in our relationships should be trust, honesty, and compassion. And those are very important to alleviate any kind of frustration that you may have in your relationships with friends, family, doctors, lawyers, teachers, professors, whoever, coworkers, managers, right? One key component that I want to mention, and I'm watching the time, I literally have 5 minutes to last, is honest communication. This is very essential to healing relationships. Miscommunication often happens, right, among your family members, caregivers, patients, doctors, and it is important, I realize, in my relationships that I keep the line of communication open. I communicate honestly, and I express myself in a way that others would want to understand exactly what I am trying to say. So next time you're having a very important conversation and you don't understand, use this simple communication. In this, I learned in marital counseling, right? That you will just ask the person either to repeat, or you will say, okay, let me see if I'm hearing you correctly. Ask them, let me see if I understand what you are saying. Free Happy One is here with me at this time, and Free Happy One has a book, Free Happy One 369 Blueprint, where you can get your healing, your oneness, and happiness from that book. The preview is excellent, it's amazing, and I can't wait to purchase my copy. Go to freehappyone.com and get that book. Thank you so much for coming to my live and for giving me the support. Once again, I am talking about relationships and healing. Relationships and healing. One very important part of having a great relationship is having great friendship. And being a friend can impact your relationship and your friendship, and it can give you that vital well-being that you need. You can go ahead and make your comments about relationships and healing. That is so very important. All right, so be a good friend who listen more You are most welcome. Free and Happy One. Go to freeandhappyone.com. In there you'll get the Free and Happy One 369 blueprint to your freedom, oneness, and happiness. You will not regret it. It